Have you ever been in this situation? If you have, how did you react? If not, how would you react, or what would you do when faced with a split-second decision that has to be made to avoid a collision? Venturing into Colorado's backcountry is a wonderful benefit to visiting or living in Colorado. It is amazing to see various types of wildlife among our state's wilderness, but encounters are not always on our own terms, and when animals get near our roadways, it can become a bad situation for all. Knowing what to do in the event of wildlife crossing can potentially save you from a negative outcome. On average, there are 3,300 wildlife-related collisions reported each year in Colorado. Within the last 10 years, 2,661 of those collisions involved injuries, and 33 involved fatalities. Although animals can cross the roadway anywhere at any time, there are high-risk areas, seasons, and times that travelers should be well aware of. The highest threat of wildlife in the roadway comes in the fall, typically mid-September through October, and spikes again in early spring due to their migration patterns. The time of day at which these incidents tend to increase is between dusk and dawn, when animals are on the move and when drivers cannot see them as well. The Colorado Department of Transportation continues to build and install features that can help reduce collisions with wildlife. These include wildlife fencing, escape ramps, underpasses and overpasses, dynamic signs, static signs, and even targeting media messaging during migration periods.
CDOT has constructed a number of wildlife projects statewide. Sometimes we focus on modifying driver behavior. Sometimes we focus on trying to keep wildlife off the roads while also creating safe locations for wildlife to cross. A number of factors come into play when we're making a decision on what type of project to do. Things such as local weather patterns, local population trends with the local wildlife all come into play. We discuss those types of factors with Colorado Parks and Wildlife to help us determine the appropriate strategy. And once we do, we partner with other locals, other agencies to move forward with what seems like the best solution. Really, when we talk about structures, we're talking about trying to create safe crossings for wildlife. So there's two ways we can do it. We can look at an overpass like we have behind us, which is a large structure, pretty expensive, really kind of a specialized solution. We also can find locations where there's existing structures under the highway that are already there for drainage or for other reasons that we can use for wildlife at the same time. Modifying driver behaviors is one of the other things that we try to do. So we have campaigns every spring and fall to let drivers know that wildlife is on the move. We partner with other local agencies and other state agencies with those kinds of efforts. We also look at strategies such as nighttime speed limit reductions, places where we have doubled the fines for things like speeding and other infractions that try to just modify that driver behavior and try to make drivers more alert to the idea that the wildlife may be on the highway.
But while CDOT can build projects that reduce collisions in these high-risk areas, it's important to understand that these collisions can happen anywhere, and it's up to all of us as motorists to heed the warnings and change our driving behaviors so we can avoid them. Every driver should know how to prevent or handle close encounters with animals on the roadway.
Dawn and dusk are the most important times of day to be vigilant for wildlife, as animal movement is high and visibility is low. Eliminate all distractions from around you. Reduce the intensity of dashboard lighting, and always drive within the comfort of your headlamps. Remember, if you see one animal, there's more likely others behind it. Look for signs such as eye shine or signals on the highway. These tips are not just for new or unfamiliar drivers, but for experienced drivers that may become complacent in their normal routine. If you do have an animal encounter, remember to brake, look, steer. While braking, safely maneuver your vehicle to the safest possible position. Remember, half the battle of avoiding a collision is being aware of what's going on around you. Be aware of other vehicles, of roadway conditions, visibility, lighting, all of which can change dramatically.
Knowing your driving abilities and learning what extra precautions to take will improve your chances of safe travels for yourself, your passengers, and our furry friends. CDOT asks that next time you get behind the wheel, remember to be prepared for encountering wildlife on the move.